Hello, and welcome back to the podcast where you are invited for lighthearted conversations about things that matter as you seek to live your most meaningful, beautiful, and joyful life. I'm your host, Dr. Edie Wadsworth, and I hope you enjoy your stay here at the House of Joy. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to House of Joy.
Welcome back.
We're so happy to be here. We've been off traveling the world.
We've been on summer break.
It feels so good to be back. Listen, I got back this weekend, Em. First of all, literally within less than 10 hours, Dad and I were wake surfing, number one. Number two is, this is what happens when I leave, guys. You should be wanting me to leave. I came back literally with my soul on fire.
Sometimes I literally don't know how you live your life the way you do, because you'll call me, like, literally, I think you had been back for 15 minutes, and you were like, me and Stevie are on the boat surfing. Like, you could not pay me to get off an airplane.
And get on a boat.
Get straight on a boat. But I guess that's the life you live.
It was pretty
I was actually
epic.
telling Sydney in the car, I was like, seriously, she will have just gotten through the longest workday, and she's like, me and Stevie are taking lunch break on the boat. Just like, you're literally pretty much, there's a 90% chance that you're on the boat surfing when I call you at any given moment.
There kind of is.
Yeah.
So we're happy to be back today. Listen, I'm about to do an epic teaching inside Life Mentoring School, and I'm going to give y'all a taste of it. This is actually, I took some notes from a class I taught like 3 or 4 years ago in Life Mentoring School on this, but in August, in my program, we always talk about abundance, and my understanding of abundance and my own embodying abundance and living in abundance has so changed, and I feel like I really have a grasp on it now. So I'm really excited about what I'm teaching in there, and we're going to take some bits and pieces of that today. Kind of the flip side of it, because I think most people are not truly living in an abundance type of mindset, an abundant life. And so we're going to talk about 5 ways that scarcity is hiding in your life without you realizing it. So listen, even in my life, it's still hiding. And I love to sniff out when I'm living in scarcity or thinking thoughts that create a lot of lack in my own life. So I'm really excited to talk about this.
This is a good one. And I feel like the more my understanding of scarcity has grown, like, the more I notice it in areas you wouldn't think are scarcity. But you've taught me so much in this topic and through your program, because it sounds like just a money thing almost.
Yeah,
like
it's usually you think of it in regards to money.
In regards to money, or like having things.
Yes.
And I've seen it, and I wouldn't have ever said I had a scarcity mindset, but in a lot of ways.
Yes. We all do.
I do.
Yeah.
And so it's
the thing that we're going to talk about a little bit today is that this scarcity mindset is exhausting. And if you don't realize you're living in it, it's like slowly draining your energy. And again, it's not just, it can be related to money and your bank account, but that's not, I don't think for most people, even the main area where it shows up. I think it shows up in your thoughts about your time, in your thoughts about your relationships, in your thoughts about, obviously, money. That's the first thing people usually think of.
I would say, though, if you do have scarcity mindset around one area, you'd be surprised.
It tends to pile on.
To see that it's actually in most areas that you have that same mindset.
Yes. And I think the sneaky part is most of us don't realize it. Most
100%.
of us are having thoughts that are running on autopilot in the back of our minds.
Honestly,
that come from
something
lack.
came up into my brain when I was reading through your notes that I didn't even realize was a scarcity mindset, but was.
Okay. Oh, so we'll get into that.
Yeah, we'll get into that.
Mm-hmm. So I'm excited to dive into this. And we'll talk about, obviously, a little bit of the flip side of that, which is learning how to live in true abundance and what that looks like and feels like instead. But I want to go over these 5 thoughts that most people are probably thinking that keep you in scarcity, that are kind of hiding in your life, that keep you in lack, that keep you from really living fully into your purpose, that keep you from living fully alive. And we'll just talk about them and see if we can help you reframe them.
Yeah, I'm
not
so
just you.
excited.
Help all of us.
Well, me. For sure.
Reframe them. Okay, so number 1, I'm always behind.
Oh, yeah.
So
This one is a really tricky one also for my age. Like, I feel like it's so easy to compare yourself and other people and feel like you're running towards something.
Yeah,
always.
and that you're behind. And here we are planning a wedding. Congratulations, by the way, on how amazing you have done, planning this wedding. But I think it's easy even in a situation like that. I don't have my dress yet. I just ordered another one. This will make 5th or 6th one that I've ordered. I hope this one works. So it's easy even for me to say, like, I'm behind. I should already have a dress. I
have been feeling that way so much recently that I am, like, missing something or that I should be done with things, even though, like, I know that that's not really true.
Yeah.
But it feels like 3 months out from your wedding, you should be,
How
like,
many
running
days are
around.
we now? Like 85 or 84
like
days
80.
till the wedding?
Which is really honestly terrifying. But it's so easy to feel like you should be running around with your head cut off. Like
yes, and that's the thing. That is the thing that thought causes you to do.
I should be
is
stressed.
Rush
Why
around,
am I not stressed?
Panic.
Then you are,
and then you probably,
because that's what everyone's experience is. I don't think I've talked to one person that was like, it was so chill planning my wedding. Which, I mean, that's
feel like this has been so far.
It's been pretty chill.
Yeah.
Which, to be fair, I've had like a lot longer than probably most people have.
Yeah.
But it definitely is also the mindset surrounding wedding planning that it's just frantic and like chaos and crazy and stressful.
And then if it's not that way, you feel like, is there something wrong with me? Are we doing it wrong? Yeah. The other thing that I think for this point is that so many women in midlife, I don't know about your age, you could speak to that, feel like they're behind in life. Mm-hmm. Like, I should be further along in my growth. I should be further along in my job or career. I should be in a better place with my health. Like feeling behind in actual life. And you look around, you compare yourself. You're like, oh my gosh, well, look where she is and look what she has. And that, I think, when you're having that thought specifically related to like where you are in life, what I think it does for you is it actually slows you down. It keeps you stuck. It keeps you kind of paralyzed. Like, well, I'm behind and now I don't know what to do. So I just don't do anything. And I think that thought is really sneaky and it is pervasive, I think, for women in midlife. I think it could be for your age group too, because you look around at other people, what they're doing since they got out of college or what they're doing. Maybe they're already married. They have a kid or two or you know what I mean?
Mine comes out in like, I'm not doing enough more. Like I'm
actually... maybe. Let me see if that exact thought. No. Okay.
Well, I mean, but it's similar because
it is.
If you feel like you're behind, you feel like
doing more.
You should be doing more.
Yeah. And thoughts become things. It becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. Your brain likes to have your thoughts match your emotional state. So then however that makes you feel when you say to yourself, I'm behind, which is probably panicked, rushed, depressed, disappointed, or whatever, and then you're taking action or not taking action in your life from that emotional state, your brain likes to make all of those congruent. And so then you get stuck in a negative loop cycle where you literally create being behind. It becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. And so that's what scarcity would say. What abundance would say is, I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be. Mm-hmm. Like, what does that feel like in your body? That feels so at peace and content in a way, right? Like, I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be. Other things like, I trust the pace of my life. I trust the process or whatever. And I think that can feel so much more motivating and energizing to actually take action. I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be. And now what? Now, how do I want to take action? How do I want to show up? So if that is a thought that you frequently have, it's probably a sneaky one. You're maybe not even aware of it, you know.
Something that's helped me in this area a lot is giving yourself perspective. Like, even that podcast that we released, that was like 3 years ago. 3 years ago now.
Yeah.
Of when I was in that place. Like, it's so easy to feel behind or feel like I'm not doing enough right now in this season. But if that version of me would have seen if you just have the perspective of how much you've grown and changed, you actually are. I mean, me and Cindy were talking literally this morning about how we literally have the dream life that we've ever wanted for ourselves, but day to day you don't think like that, and it's
and that's important. That's exactly the abundance that I'm talking about. The more you learn to really relish in it and live in it and enjoy it and celebrate it and be content in it, instead of feeling like, well, I can't enjoy where I am because I'm behind.
I saw this reel, and it's a little woo-woo because it's talking about energy, and it was this guy who's basically saying people want success, or they want this type of life, or whatever they want for themselves. Yeah. When you're in a state of wanting instead of proclaiming, which is lack.
Yes.
And you're like trying to get it so hard instead of living in. He was talking about like the frequency.
Yes.
And
I mean, that can be woo-woo, but there's a lot to that. The energetics, how it energetically affects your body.
And a lot of it lined with what you talk about. Like if you proclaim that, and you're already living in the state that you would if you had those things attract to you anyway, and you don't want them as much because you already feel the way that they would make you feel.
Yes, this is part of my teaching for today in Life Mentoring School. Perfect. And what would it feel like? Because if you are always living from that want, what you're saying is, I don't trust that I'm getting what I want. I don't trust the process. I'm behind. I'm not enjoying all the things I already have. And one of the thoughts that I'm going to share with my students today is, what if everything you want is already here?
Mm-hmm. And the way that you show up, it is so true. If you felt like that truly, you would show up
so much contentment,
so much better,
so much gratitude, and
create way more than you could even.
So if you got that sneaky thought, like we sometimes do, find it, reframe it, and really practice living into, I'm right where I'm supposed to be. Mm-hmm. Second one, we all have this one. I don't have enough time. There's never enough time. When we make time our enemy, we're always going to lose. Mm. And I've been teaching this because this is when I learned this, by the way, back in the day when we were homeschooling and when we were reading Greek mythology, we learned about two Greek gods that have to do with time, and one is called Chronos and one is called Kairos. And Chronos is where we get the word chronology or chronological order. Mm-hmm. Things happen in a certain order, in a certain way. Time is linear. It takes a certain amount of time to do things. Mm-hmm. Yes, stepwise. There's another word for time called Kairos, which means, it kind of means like the fullness of time, a divinely appointed time. And when you're living more in Kairos moments, you can collapse time. And I remember when I went to do therapy with Becca, I had such a powerful transformation in one of our sessions that I thought to myself, I just skipped 20 years. Like, I just got so much transformation from this session with her that this is like 20 years of healing in 20 minutes. Mm-hmm. It felt like Kairos time. Like it felt like a miracle. And I think if we're always putting ourselves up against, this is one of the reasons why I'm doing a challenge for myself this August, is like, how can I collapse time? How can I create something that feels impossible in a shorter amount of time than I ever thought I could? And you do that by being willing to receive from life these chronos or these kairos moments where you get an epiphany and you so let it, take over your life that it changes you in ways that might have taken 10 years or whatever. And it's kind of a little bit like that thought that I have about everywhere I look, I see miracles. I practiced that thought for a year, and that thought changed my life. And when we're anticipating miracles and looking for them, it's like every obstacle can become like the next step to what you want to create. We can step into what I feel like is Kairos timing, where time collapses. Everybody's experiences when you're doing something and you lose track of time.
Yes.
And you're like so into it. And like, I can remember there's times when I felt that way with the babies. Like, this brought me so much joy that this is like 10 years worth of joy in one interaction with them, or, you know, or whatever. So it can come to us in various ways. But that's one way that I feel like we can really step out of that scarcity of there's never enough time. Even thoughts that feel like, I was thinking to myself, because Tom's starting 7th grade, and we were looking back at some old pictures of him, and I'm like, oh, time's such a thief. And, you know, I miss those good old days or whatever. Like, even that, which feels, it doesn't even feel bad. It feels like sentimental to think about it. But what if you decided, like, no, time isn't a thief. It's an opportunity where I can make so much out of so little. Instead of, I have so little time, how can I make so much out of this brief time that we have? How can I live 1,000 lifetimes? Because I've lived so fully present and so in the moment and so appreciative of time.
It reminds me of my bachelorette trip, because the whole week we all kept saying, it feels like the days are so long here.
Yep.
And I think also because we just kept saying that out loud, and everyone was saying that, then every day after that would also feel so long. And we were all aware of how, like, present we were being.
Yeah.
So we also created that.
Yeah. So
for
that
ourselves.
was
it's
like a Kairos time.
Yes. Instead of being like, oh, I don't
that
want this
just
to
went,
end.
and
I don't want this to end. This is going to go so fast. Like, every day we were like,
and we still get to do this. And
how are we still going?
Yeah.
And it did affect everyone's experience, because everyone felt that way.
Yeah.
That it was like so slow, and so like we took advantage of every moment.
I was just telling Savannah when we were in Minnesota, I said, I still look back on that week that we spent in Portland, and I feel that way about that week.
Yes, that did feel like that.
Didn't
too.
it feel like that?
Yes.
Like, the days just were so luxurious and so long, and we were enjoying every moment. Yeah. So instead of letting your brain always default to, there's not enough time, I never have enough time, if it always feels like you're rushing, this can be another sign that you have a sneaky, you know, scarcity thought around time. But
I think also the thought, I don't have enough time, it does just make time leap. Like, you almost miss the moments in between. And I've really been trying to work on that with the wedding, because in your head you're like, oh, I wish I could just like skip to
teleport myself to the wedding. Yeah.
Like, when everything is planned and all the plans are set in place. But like, these 3 months are what we're going to remember too. Like, they're also important and fun and can be beautiful.
Yes.
Leading up. And I don't want to just skip. Actually, I don't want to just skip to. And then if you have that mindset, subconsciously you're just going to be getting through the days.
And I heard Alex Hermosi address this. He's had like amazing financial success, and he said, I can remember, you know, he could remember a time when he was young when he thought, I'd give anything to be like 50 and be a multi-billionaire already and have already built my business and have all of this. And he said, you ask any 50, 60, 70-year-old what they want, they'll trade places in a heartbeat to be 25 or 30 again. Mm-hmm. So it's like we're always wanting that next step so much.
I know what is that guy actor's name? I just saw a reel, and the guy asked him if you could like go back to any moment. He was like, I would go back to when all my kids were little.
Yes, I just saw the same thing. That guy that plays something Saul.
Uh-huh.
Yes. I know, like, I love that. He said,
and most parents
my kids
in
were
that
home,
age
are wishing like, oh, this is hard.
Oh my gosh, this is so hard. Yes. He's like, if I could go back and experience having all my kids.
Yeah, because I love what he said. He said, I didn't worry then about what my purpose was.
Yes. Oh my gosh, because so good.
He said, I knew how to be a dad.
Yeah, and that's all I had to do.
And it's all I had to really do is I knew how to do that. And I felt so much meaning and purpose in
every day.
It was really cool.
Yeah.
So abundance basically invites us right back into this present moment, the abundance of this moment. I have time for what matters. I make the most of time. I multiply time. I love practicing that thought. I multiply time because I feel like I can think of moments this, you know, even in the last month or in the last few months where I feel like I multiplied time instead of saying time's a thief and it goes so fast and we're, so yeah, that's a good one to practice, especially for us mamas with
you
kids
wouldn't
going back
necessarily,
to school.
I think when I look to what I think in my head subconsciously, I think sometimes I will tell myself like, oh, I just wasted so much time.
Yes.
And that is what you'll look back on. If you feel like you truly wasted your time, you're going to look back and think time was a thief.
Yes.
Because it's so much easier to think that when in the moment you were thinking bad scarcity thoughts.
Yes. And the truth of the matter is when you slow down and really savor and enjoy, it feels like time slows down.
Yeah.
Right?
And you'll look back and you're probably going to be like, oh, those were such, instead of thinking, oh, I wish I would have done more, taken that more in.
Right.
We have the ability to do that right now in the good times,
Yes, we do. So a good reminder. The third one is I don't follow through. This is such a scarcity thought, you guys. And you can look around at the things that you've started that you feel like you haven't finished. Lots of people tell me we're right in the middle of a Ningxia Red metabolic reset right now. And lots of women will say, well, I've tried this before and I just don't finish it or I don't follow through. Even if you can find lots of evidence for how you've done that in the past, what you create by continuing to think that way is you create you not following through. So how about instead you look for all the things you do follow through in? There's a ton of things that you do follow
and the
through.
Things you've completed.
The things you've completed.
That you have done.
The things every day you do. You got your dishes done today. You followed through and did your dishes. You got ready again today. Even if you find the tiniest evidences for how you follow through and you reframe that thought, I'm a person who follows through. That thought itself makes you feel confident and ready to go and ready to, take on the task versus feeling so defeated when you keep telling yourself, I just am not the type of person who follows
Makes
through.
the task feel lighter, too, not so heavy.
Yes.
Because if you go into a task thinking, oh, I'm not going to be able to finish this, well, the whole time you're doing it is going to feel 10 times harder than if you were like, oh, yeah, I'm not even worried about finishing.
Versus if you're really celebrating all the little wins along the way, all the ways you always are following through, finding evidence for that is so much more motivating than living with a thought of like, I just never follow through. So, I could find lots of evidence for that. I've made, if you look at like over the years, progress that I've made in my health journey, it has looked like, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. A lot of times where probably I technically didn't follow through, but over time, I just keep saying to myself, I'm just getting healthier and stronger. And over time, I am getting healthier and stronger.
Well, and it just keeps going up. Even if, like, right here,
even
you
if
made
there's
a dip.
Yeah. So I think that could be a great way as we head into, I know a lot of people this time of year are thinking about, okay, kids are getting back into school, or I love, the reset that we have August, September. So don't let yourself buy into thoughts like that you don't follow through. Number 4, it's too late for me. Gosh, do I have so many women in my programs who say that because they feel like, well, now I'm in my late 40s or 50s or 60s or whatever. It's probably too late for me. Did you know that so many amazing things like Martha Stewart? I don't think Martha Stewart ever started her business until she was in
like
her 50s.
50.
Yeah.
Yep.
I started my business when I was 49, my coaching business.
That's insane.
So isn't that crazy? Because at your age, don't you guys probably tend to look at life and go, well, if I haven't done it already, or if I'm not kind of already on the path, I wouldn't have had any idea what the path was at your age.
It is really crazy because it feels like we should have that kind of success and have our life figured out at this age already. So I can't imagine being someone your age also feeling that same pressure, because it already starts when you're 20.
And you have to ask yourself, how does that thought feel in my body? When I think that, do I feel some resignation? Like, well, it's too late for me. Do I feel envy? Like, well, that other person has whatever. Do I feel some bitterness that, maybe you've prioritized other things and it leads to some bitterness or resentment? That thought is not serving you. I promise. It literally is never too late to ask yourself, what did you really want to create in your life? What are your truest desires? Where do you want your life to go? And
I think it also helps too, like thinking about all the success that you've had later on in life, and so many people, some of the most successful people, it lets the pressure off for people my age as well, because it's like I can just do the thing I want to do right now and chase after a dream that I want, and that might not be forever, but there is literally always time to keep figuring out and keep going after
100%
new things.
100%. And I think that, what if you thought something like, the timing is always just right for whatever the thing is you want to do? What if you practice the thought, here's the thing that I think about, what if, and I feel like, again, like you just said, I'm living my dream life. I've created things that would have blown me away if you had told me 10 years ago, here's what your life's going to look like. It would have blown me away. What if the best things haven't even happened yet?
Oh, yeah.
What if you lived with that anticipation of, well, I'm just getting started?
Yeah, and especially people your age, like, you just might not have been ready for what was meant for you.
Yes.
Before then.
I wasn't.
Yeah.
That's right. So I think that's a powerful thought. What if the best is still yet to come? I truly believe that for myself. And it's a powerful thought to adopt because it keeps you hopeful and present and anticipating, and again, watching for those kairos moments where you're kind of living in the miracle, you're collapsing time. I think that this is one of those really sinister thoughts that keep us defeated and keep us kind of stuck, and we can recognize those and just decide that my best days are still ahead.
I love all of those.
I do too. Okay, last one. First of all, was there anything in the ones that we mentioned, or any thoughts that you've had, Em, that any scarcity thoughts that you feel like are that come up for you?
Yeah, what came up for me before was with like social media and just, I mean, related to like career and what you want to do and how you want to put yourself out there. I think a lot of times I can have the thought, well, someone's already done that. There's already enough people saying, like, I don't really have anything to add. You know, like, there's no more room for me. Almost.
Yes.
Like, no one really wants, I don't know. Social media is so flooded with so many things. It's so easy to think that. Like, what do people need from me that they couldn't already add? Yes.
That they can't already get. That's so perfect, because it kind of goes along with the last one that I had, which is something that a lot of my coaches actually struggle with when they're first getting out of certification and trying to build their business. It's kind of like the same thing. They're thinking to themselves like, well, there's already so many people doing this. There's already, it's already flooded. And one of the thoughts that they can have is, I need to see proof before I believe. So if I see proof, like for you, that could be, if I see proof that people are enjoying this content,
then that would give me
if they're commenting, if I'm getting engagement, then that's proof that what I'm doing is valuable, versus believing that what you're doing is valuable and then the results come.
Yes.
The belief, the faith comes first, that I do have something unique to share, and I am the one that has to believe in it first. I'm the one that has to create that, like, no, this is really important. And then as I create that belief and offer that thing without proof, then it starts to happen. And I think we think of it in reverse. So, well, let me see proof first that people like this, that, I'll get some engagement here, that this is something that I can offer the world, instead of really asking yourself, well, why do I want to do it in the first place? And that for me often gets me out of my own head and into service, into what can I do that would be a blessing to other people? What could I do that could serve them? And just believing in the value of that.
Yes.
And then knowing that the results come after the belief, instead of the belief needs to come first.
And then you create, it's the same thing like we said earlier. You create the result of what you're wanting to create before you even need to see from other people that it resonates. Or you're already creating the feeling it would give you if you had what you wanted. Yes,
yes. And so that kind of abundance where, because this is part of what I teach in my program, abundance is just faith. It's faith that God has provided everything I need. I always have what I need. He's always taking care of us. He loves us. He calls us his beloved. I have what I need. He's always providing. I'm always supported and taken care of. And you can say to yourself, well, there are things in my life where I feel like that's not true. Yeah, your brain is always going to look for that. But faith says, I believe this even when I can't see proof, right?
Yep.
So abundance in so many ways is just faith. It's just faith that it's always working out for your good. He's always taking care of you. You're always being supported. And from that place, then you're now free. You don't have to worry about yourself. He's taking care of you. You're now free to live, to give, to serve, to use your gifts in ways that, you want to. And it's such a beautiful, freeing way to live versus what our brains always default to, which is what's wrong, what I don't have, what's not enough, all the ways I feel like I'm not supported. That's what your brain is going to default to. But you get to be the one to say, yes, but I also have faith that the God of the universe loves me, is for me. This is somehow always working out for my good.
Yeah, I love that.
I do too. All right, you guys. Well, I hope that has helped you with some sneaky scarcity.
What an uplifting episode.
Yes, we can start the month of August with some really positive and powerful mindset and creating a lot of abundance in our own lives. And we're so happy you're here. We are so grateful, you guys, for our podcast listeners. We love you so much. We're so thankful for you. Thank you for every share. Thank you for every review. Thank you for every comment that you leave on House of Joy. We love doing this.
Oh, it's so fun.
It is so fun.
My dream job.
Dream job. Okay. Have a great rest of your day.
Love
Bye
ya.
for now.
Bye.